Can I tell you? Can I tell you, babe? To declare my love.
Check 1 2 1 2. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Sorry, I had some severe technical difficulties actually too, and I'm just going through some ups and downs too with my kids and things. So had to figure things out with the family and then run on in family first. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. The lights aren't even on. We got to get the lights back. So bear with me. I'm a little weird today, but I'll be able to get through the chart. Shout out. I opened up a short earlier this morning to the trading group. It looked like a descending triangle. I was down like $1,000 a second ago, but it has flipped. I'm now up $600. I don't know how that happened. And I got 2 trades cooking. I'm up about $950 here on the short. We'll see what happens. Let's get that music up and running. Shout out to all my beautiful lifers in the live. And every single day we got to push forward. It's going to be hard. Every single day is hard. I'm telling you right now, days are hard for me. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. Say it again with me. Nothing is easy. One more time. Nothing is easy. The second someone tells you it's easy, get away from them. Because that's comforting, right? Oh, it's not going to be that hard. Oh, I'm not going to have to put that much effort in. What does the word easy mean? Things are going to go so sweet that you're not going to have to think about it, right? That's just not the way it is. If you want to make it in life, you're going to have to think about it every single time. You're going to have to make it happen no matter what. You can, you will, you are the best. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Hope you got into the short in the live in the trading group. You might just be in the money, but I can see some people might have longed that jump because that long was enticing. It made you think we were going to make a pump, right? They tried to pull you in, right? Yes, sir, but it always gets better. Nothing is easy. God bless my man, Vinny. Vinny, I love you, man. You're a voice of reason to a lot of young men in the group. I see you being an awesome person. Just want to make sure you know I really appreciate you and love you with all my heart, man. Thank you for everything. Thank you, sweetheart. Just got to get my lights on here if I can. My phone, what is it doing is it likes to go switch to the wrong Wi-Fi for whatever reason. Ever since I got my new phone, it goes to the other Wi-Fi. And then it looks like it's like not happening. But I switched to the right Wi-Fi. I have 2 Wi-Fis, a business Wi-Fi and a home Wi-Fi, which is probably not even good to have dual Wi-Fi in the house like that. Now it's not even running. It's one of those days where just things just don't seem to stick. Look, it went back to the other one again. I put it on Artisan. All right. Here we go. Oh, come on now. 1, 2, 3. Show me the lights. It might just not have the percentage to get it. There we go. All right. And I'm back. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Stay blessed and amazing. Shorts paying us right now as we go. 89,000 looks like a target. You can see a bunch of red just opened up down there. And you got to do what you got to do. When the market tells you to short, we got to short. And here we go. We can go all the way down to $89,000 for BTC. That is the target. That's what I'm looking for. Up $800 in the short right now. Banging on them. Another one right here up 321, up $1,100 so far for the day. You saw us make $1,100 yesterday in the stream. Now we're kicking it the other way, right? We long, we short, we short, we long. There's opportunity. I think we shorted yesterday too, right? I can't remember, man. Life has been so crazy. $9,700. Let's take a look at the big picture. The S&P. I said I could see a bounce here. And then today it bounces, right? And I said, that's insane. I said to my trading group, I see a bounce on the S&P. And somehow the S&P takes a bounce. I just find that strange. But there we go, right? S&P for the move to the upside here. And this is what I see happening for the S&P. They're going to continue to print this money. They're scaring everybody, thinking that we're going to have this massive dump. And we're going to get, but look, I mean, that's hidden bullish divergence. See how it swings up and that swings down? That tells me we could get a nice move back to the upside here. Right, quick reversal back to the upside, but I like what I'm seeing. In this case, you would go to the 1 hour, and you can see how it's uncorrelated from Bitcoin now. Bitcoin pumping, S&P, Bitcoin dumping, S&P pumping. A bit off, but look, the S&P just got above the 15-minute 200. Bitcoin did this yesterday, remember? This was us yesterday for Bitcoin. It's almost like this is repeating Bitcoin cycle. Well, look, we got this massive move with the S&P to the upside. Now you want to see if you are trading the S&P or something that's, similar to that, that's one of the bigger stocks on the S&P. You're going to be looking for this. You're going to be looking for the 21 to cross and for this flag to go. Entry would be here for the pump up to about 677.65. So there you get the S&P for you if you're an S&P trader. Bang, bang, bang. All right. Someone says, don't they use the dollar for... Of course they do, all the time. Look at Bitcoin 1 minute and look at this nasty manipulation. I mean, even the 15-minute, it looks a bit crazy. But, I'm sticking to the short, and I'm going to explain why I'm short, because I'm looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame upside down. And honestly, this is a symmetrical triangle. These mainly break to the downside. It's very rare that I've seen these just move up. I do see this as a shoulder, head, right shoulder. I can see how it could go either way. It's sketchy. It could get above this point of control and rip right up here. It could hit here and dump. It could go either way. That's the case with the symmetrical triangle. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. That's the key. Any single thing could happen. So you got to just kind of sit tight and wait. Right? Now, I took this short. It was very hard to take this short. I have to be honest. And I was just down about $1,200. Right before the stream started, I was down big. I have to be honest with you. That's not why I was late. I didn't even notice it. I saw I was late, but then I had to deal with something else. When I got back, 810, 840, and this thing is going, look how crazy it is. So that's something we have to pay attention to too. All right. Oh, look, $700 up on Bitfinex. You got to love that, right? And I tether up. I am tethered up all over the place, just waiting for better opportunities. I like long-term I made most of my gains making long-term investments in emerging markets, like looking for things that I knew were going to be hot, buying them when no one else knew about them, and then just holding them for a key period of time. That's how I've done most of my money. That's how I've done in the cycles, and then I started leverage trading just 3-4 years ago. Remember, I made the bulk of my money becoming a long-term investor, looking at the market, scanning the market, understanding what I saw beforehand, basically seeing the future, like investing in things 2 to 3 years before I saw that they could actually turn to something, and then waiting and not knowing if there was a direct confirmation of that happening, but believing that my research and my intuition would have me in the right place. So I didn't start using heavy TA till later. The real reason I'm shorting the market is this here on MEXC. If you can see, I'm on MEXC with the TA. It's going to pop in a second, but that's a descending triangle. Remember, I've shown you these so many times, and I think this is like 90%. Whenever I've seen these, they take a massive move to the downside. Also, the trend is your friend. Here's a high, here's a low, here's a lower high, here's a lower low, here's a lower high. You would assume Bitcoin's going to put in a lower low, right? I mean, that's just how trend works. So, man, market is on easy mode. Shorts are so easy and fast. Nothing's easy, man. I don't say stuff like that. But look, now we're about to make $1,000 on the day and make that cake. If you want to join the trading group, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Okay? Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Hang out, see what we're talking about, see what's going down, and see why I was able to short this market this morning. I gave the short with the stop loss and everything, exactly where I saw Bitcoin going to go. It wasn't perfect, right? But this is the short right here in the trading group. 9404, profits at 82304. This never got stopped out. The stop was very high, and now it is starting to come into the money already since we opened the short. And this is the look here too that I took the short on. Up $400 on weeks. Up even more here. Up $950. Now we're up $1,400. We might make a pretty penny here on the day. This might be one of our biggest trades here. You never know. We might make 10 grand today on this channel. See what happens, man. I'm so positive. I gotta push through. It doesn't mean the devil doesn't get to me. It doesn't things don't come at me all the time, man. Heck, I've had nervous breakdowns. I've had times where I could barely keep it together. That's life as a trader. That's life in general, I think. Some people actually, I think, seem to be pretty calm all the time. Me, I've gone through a lot of struggles in my life. It's never been easy for me, and I don't think it's ever been easy for you either. That makes you a lifer. You desire so much more, but it's been so hard. The struggle's been hard. We've had parents that don't listen to us. We've had best friends leave us high and dry. We've had jobs fire us. We've had people talk down to us at our last positions. We've been through so much. I know. If you've been through what I've been through, night shifts. I worked a night shift where I was treated like the lowest totem pole in the company. You know what I mean? Oh, he's just the night shift guy. Who gives a dang about him? You know what I mean? I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you, man, life is not, it's just, I've been through a lot. And it's a joy to be here with each and every one of you. It's a joy to be on this channel. And I got to remind myself how where God has placed me and how appreciative I have to be for every single moment in my life. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that supports me, that shows up every single day tirelessly, and that has dedicated themselves to trading, becoming a lifer, and doing the best they can to make themselves into a better trader and a better person, right? So, bang, we're at the same price action as last Thanksgiving to the T. So crazy, right? Sometimes the devil makes life easier for people so they don't turn to God. Amen. I like what you're saying. Just keep it so comfortable that you don't think you need it. Yeah. That makes sense. Keep feeding them what they need so they, you know what I mean? Of course. Makes sense. Complacency is the king, is the death of progression, right? You want to be in that same happy place. And, so just, always make sure you have a stop loss on command. We got to stop here. We can move that into position. Looks like we may be able to ride this puppy really nicely to the downside. 4 hour could collapse here and really go down, 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 down. I mean, I'm seeing Bookmap in my favor. 89K is a place I'm thinking to take some profits. 89,000. This thing says it could take the measured move, the base of this triangle to the downside, all the way back down to about $84,000, right? Cities look like chicken farm. Can we go over the death cross and why this is different from the last two all the way back to last year, July-ish? Well, the last two, we were in an uptrend. You see? Yeah. And your weekly and your monthly weren't in bearish divergences. You see what I mean? Like, you got to look at your bigger time frames, right? Someone says, nah, lifer, we go up. Just watch it. I don't know what's going to happen, man. I keep it open-minded. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I just trade what I see. Like, I trade when the 4 hour is above the 200, touching the 21. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame and let's, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't do, you know what I mean? Like, let's flip this upside down. So let me delete everything first because we're going to get back to this. But we'll flip this upside down, right? I like to trade long when we're above the 200 and we're making a flag. If I saw this long, I would be so excited to long this, right? You know me. I would long this. I've longed this we've done this so many times. We probably did it earlier this week. It could be a double top. It could make an M pattern and the M could dump. There's a chance. You got this chance. But it kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder there, right, too? But it also, I can see it both ways. But my strategy says when you're above the 200, touching the 21, you can hit the length of the pole. And that takes you to about $83,000. At that point, we may make a bullish div, but again, the RSI is not even below the dotted line yet. And look, all the lows for the 4 hour, we usually get down there. So I'm not saying, So to me, and this is upside down, right? We're going to flip it back. So to me, it kind of looks, like there could be a move to the downside here for Bitcoin. And so I'm staying short. Look, I'm up $1,000 in the short now, $1,100. People want to say what they want. Now I'm up $1,600 on the day. Let's see how this thing could continue to move and continue to bunch. I want to see this thing punch to the upside and continue to do damage here. Maybe it heads all the way down over here to 89,963. And come on down to Papa now, right? And so I go for $500 to $2,000 a day. Let's see if we can make it clearly here on the channel and then walk away for the day. Make my gains, trade for the, I have to be in the market all day long. Make $1,500 in an hour and a half and walk away. Everyone's so greedy. They have to get the whole move. They have to sit there forever. It's so hard for them to take profits because every single time they want more. Well, what if it goes down and I make $10,000? What happens if I sell and it keeps going? So what? Who cares? If you made more, $1,500 a day? Who here thinks $1,500 a day is a good day? I do. And I think I'm in a pretty good spot in life. And $1,500 a day from your home, sitting in your house, I think that's going to be a pretty sweet move. Look, here we go. Another $1,200. Let's see. I'm going to move that thing to break even. I can't lose money on the trade. I'm going to move this stop loss to break even. I can't lose money on these trades. I can't lose my money today. Understand? Now, all I can do is try to take as much as I can out of the market. Let's get to 89,000. Let's get this thing banged to the downside here. Shout out to anyone that took the short with the lifer. Congratulations. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We see yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Put a 333 if you're happy with $1,500 a day. I make around $7,000 to $1,000 a day, so $1,500 is amazing, right? So I'm going to show you how to make $1,500 a day. I'm just going to keep moving the stop loss because now it's getting oversold, right? I'm going to take profits. Confirm. And when I take profits, I go to the really small time frame, look for divergences. Look how oversold that RSI is on the 1 minute. That was a pretty good move, right? Look, now we're up $1,300 in the trade. So if I take it all, I'm almost up about $2,000, right? So this would be a perfect time to sell. I can always get back in, and it looks like it's going to continue to dump. But I'm teaching day trading. I'm not really teaching long-term swing trading when it comes to lev. I'm teaching day trading. I'm teaching cash in for the day and move on. Like, look, this thing could continue to collapse. Look, I'm in such a position here because they wicked up. There's a good chance this could continue to collapse. Let's see. I'm willing to take profits. I'm willing to be in the trade. Look at this. I'm still in the trade. I'm right at the spot, and they're giving me more. It's crazy. Whenever I don't use a stop loss, right, they'll round trip you. You move your stop loss and beg to get hit, and they'll keep dumping it for you. It's so weird. Like, when you do the right thing, more comes. When you do the wrong thing, you get banged on for it every single time. How many times you've done the wrong thing, and they bang on you, right? You finally move your stop loss into position, and look, they just letting me win again. They'll let me keep winning in this 4-hour time frame as they flush this puppy to the downside. 1,300 on the trade now. I'm getting greedy. I can feel the greed in me. I want more. I should shut that down and pay myself. Okay? When the trader gets greedy, that's time to pay the man. That's the time to pay the man. It's time to pay the man. Like, I'm going to get paid here and show you how we do it. Look, there's the bounce. They're going to take me out. Come on. And I'm like, dang, I could have gotten the low. That's 1 out. That's 2 out. That's how you pay the trader. Okay? That's how you pay the trader. So I gave the trade earlier this morning in the group. It played out. It didn't hit the target, obviously, but you see, I go pretty heavy. Oh, woof, look at that. Just flushed that thing down again. My goodness, they just went and boom. A violent wick. Filled the wick again. And I truly believe this will likely collapse to $89,000. You say, why did you sell then? Why not use a trailing stop loss? I'll be honest, because I like to just call it a day. All right? Take outlaw, low pump. Love you, Sammy. You're the greatest, man. I love you too. God bless Carlos Alejandre, man. DXY is pushing high like crazy. I see it coming to... Let's go, Sammy. Shout out to all my lifers, man. God bless you all. Thank you for everybody. So, we've come too far, man. We just come too far. I can't turn back this now, right? It's just I can't. Well done, Sam. That was clean. It could keep going down or whatever, but you don't. But you got yours, and that's how we do it. Exactly. One day at a time, man. How many times have I taken profits on this show to teach you guys how to pay the trader? I can teach you strategies all day long. I can teach you technical analysis all day long. But if I don't show how to take profits on a daily basis, then what am I showing? I'm just showing gabagoo. You know what I mean? Round trip a ripper. Round trip a ripper. No, this is the everyday hit and never quitter. A lot more selling to come. A lot of ETFs looking to sell. Just waited till Sailor has to sell straight down. Nice job, Lifer Crew. $100 is more than enough for me. I do on long. I had 700 USD, but I stopped. Did anybody pay the trader just now? Put a 333 if you got paid. Put a 444 if you're still in the trade. Let me know. Put a 333 if you got paid. 444 if you're still in the trade with gains. Stop loss to break even. Can't lose. Does look like this thing's going to continue to collapse to the downside. Kind of what I see now here is another descender. It's almost like it's a half a D. It's hard to see, but I feel like that could collapse that way. Let's do our top-down analysis for BTC. Let's see what's happening there. See how the Stokes just turned on you there. But now you got to get a bullish divergence to try to save yourself. Look at all the 333s and the 444s. We got a lot of people doing what they got to do to survive in this market. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Bang. It takes time and discipline every single day. We do what we got to do to survive all the time. And I think I'm just jet lagged. I woke up not feeling too good this morning, a little sick, jet lagged, and my mom was just, man. Some days it's just like you got to fight through yourself to just get through the day, man. It's crazy in this human body for me. Some days it's not easy. Almost every day it's not easy, right? 90,000. Look, this thing is going to continue to dump, man. 89K. I mean, my target is deeper, right? It's an ascending triangle. You see it, right? That looks like it's going to continue to dump all the way down to 83, 84,000. A massive move to the downside. And you say, how do you deal with Sam selling knowing that it's going to keep going? Like, how did you jump back in? Do you get crazy? You know, at that point, what you can always do, see how it looks like a head and shoulder pattern? So I could switch to like, let me see here. Could possibly trade that head and shoulder. You see how it's a head and shoulder there? Make a neckline, and we could just trade, I could trade this idea. The stochastics, look, they're like, the 1 hour says you're going to collapse. And just not be too greedy here. Let's see what we can do. What I do now is I risk a part of the trade. So we made what? What do we make just there? I'd have to look for sure. Like, well, something like $1,800, right? Something like that. So now we got to shot the markets. I got a shot it now. So, and you just hit the open short button there, right? I mean, yeah, it looks like it's going to continue to dump. Could wait for the smaller time frames to possibly do something, but the 1 hour looks absolutely collapse easy. So look, it looks like here we got this shoulder, this head, this right shoulder. Looks like we could completely dump to the downside here and collapse all the way. Somewhere down to about 86,131, right? This thing could dump all the way down here. It's a key level we could be seeing. And the stochastics say they want to take a massive move down. So what I do is I could risk what I made on this trade, and I'd still be up for the day. So this trade made about 500. So I could risk the 500 on the Schultz, you know. So we want to get back down to about 86,223. And the stop loss would have to be at 92.5, right? I mean, that's a psychological area. There's that 89K shining. And what's up with that? Why is that doing that? 5 for 4? Why is that really? Oh, yeah, it's a 1-to-4-2 ratio. It's kind of like, 81,973, but like, is that? Let's see. I mean, I don't know. Probably should just walk away for the day, leave it alone. Again, my strategies. We lost the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. Did we? Yes. And just like I teach you how to long, that's a perfect place to short. Once you lose the 200 on the 1 minute, you drop further to the downside. $89,000 for Bitcoin. Calling this short, right? BCT trade short the market, and I, pulled the trigger on the call this morning. God bless everybody. That some people don't know how to trade that well. They're just starting out. This trade would have played out great for you. Absolutely beautiful. 89.9. Bitcoin collapsing to the downside. Further down. The 1 minute just in free fall. You know what I'm seeing that? Like, just the 5 minute lost the 200 moving average. We talk about this every day. I tell you, you don't want to be shorting when you cross the 200. You want to be longing when you're below the 200. It's Bear City, folks. Look, you can see the head and shoulder there, right? You know, it's funny. Now I kind of see the idea here. Hold on. Might be able to slot, that time was right there. But we could use this 5 minute 200 moving average to possibly position ourselves in a better light. Let's see. Grab the short position. I'll get big here, sorry. Shout out to Weeks, all the nice tips, tricks, and tools you need on TradingView. It remembers what you put on. Like, I like it, when I come back every day. I've got my 200 and my 21 ready to rock. Yeah, this thing looks like, it's major dumpage here for BTC. And I remember I told you I tethered up, and I even showed you that. Remember, I was like, I tether it this morning. I just showed you tether right there. Like, there isn't a platform I don't have tether just sitting, waiting, because I'm just, you know? And you're like, why don't you just short the market the whole way? You know, I've been through a few cycles. My first cycle, I got caught off guard and went up and down with it. My second cycle began to short someone, and this is like I've only been really leverage trading for 3 years. I have to be honest, I'm not the greatest shorter ever. I flip the charts upside down and I can get it. But some days I hesitate a little too quick, you know, and for some reason when I'm a bull, I just bum, 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 bum. And there was times I could short heavier, right? I shorted today. I made, you know, it's funny, I made almost $2,000 shorting today. It's like, Sam, what are you talking about? I think I'm hard on myself, man. I think I'm just too dang hard on myself. Are you too? Are you hard on yourself? Do you find yourself just beating yourself up sometimes? You got to just let yourself go. Ask God for forgiveness. Say, man, God, you know, let me not be so dang hard on myself, right? So yeah, I mean, that's a shoulder, head and shoulder. You see it? And that's also a descending triangle. You can kind of see it here. That really hasn't dropped just yet. It might, see, here's the thing. They might go after these people here. I could see possibly a bounce in here. And now they could liquidate a bunch of longs, a bunch of shorts right there. Just, and then, but it does look more downside to me here. So that's a possible another short that I could, so what I do here now, let's take a look. So 92,612, target would be 81,677. Obviously not going to go all the way to that. We just made 517 here on weeks. So we hit the short button and we take a look here. And remember, everyone does something different. Some people could teach you how to just long. I can teach you how to long and short the market. I can teach you how to do anything in any market. I really can. I know I can. So the take profit is 81,67,677. And the stop loss would be at like 91,612. Is that correct? Let me double check that. Yep, 91,612. Oh, 92,612. Forgive me. Could even be 92.5. Yeah, I like 92.518. Like, that's good enough for me. Yeah, 5 for 15, right? Risk that for the Biscot. We could even risk like a little less. I could risk 3 for 1,000. That way I would still be up on this trade if I lose today. So now, if we continue to dump, I'll make it a $2,800 day. Or I'll make it or I'll make it like a $1,300 day. You know what I mean? So, and then I walk home. So I know tonight, no matter what, I'll walk home with a win. But there's a chance that I get paid even more if they continue to dump this market. Did I hit long accidentally? You never know, right? Have you ever done that? Like you swear and then you just like, it shouldn't have let me do it anyway because I had the parameter set correctly. But definitely in my beginner trader days, I would hit like open long instead of short. Look back, like, oh my gosh, just made a horrible mistake. Has anyone ever done that? You ever opened a short instead of a long and not use a stop loss? Oh yeah. And you're thinking, then you go check the trade and you're like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Right? Right? So do you guys think Sailor's going to get liquidated here? Is that what people are saying? Is Sailor going to get absolutely demolished and flattened? Is that what we're going to see? Yeah. I quit certain institutions like funds and banks are dumping all their bags. So is it the OG selling or just trade shorting? Is it Trump won't make a bounce inevitable? See, everyone that hopes on these dreams and prayers of the news and Trump, you know, stimulus checks and all that should be coming, $2,000. There's a lot on the line. What I do is, man, I've fallen into the trap of listening to the news before and actually falling into that bias and being like, oh yeah, you know. And next thing I know, like, I really wished I didn't do that. So every time I've done something other than look at the charts, I've been wronged. I've been severely wronged. You know what I mean? Looks like this may bounce off the bottom of this channel here like I'm showing you back to the top and go after these late. I may just cut off that $19 because like even if it's dumping, it looks like it has to come back up a bit. It seems like 1, 2, 3. It's a triple bottom there. Look at my 5-minute. So yeah, you might get a V-shaped recovery here on the 1 minute. See this? That could be an inverted that brings us back up here. Huh. If you're bearish, you want to see this thing turn into a bear flag and continue to dump. Interesting. And see, I didn't go overboard. See, now I'm only down 32. So like way less stress now, right? You close the trade and now your next trade, you're only down 28 bucks. Like, you don't, how less of, there's no emotions there. You know what I mean? Like, how can you get emotional if when you made 1,800 bucks and you're only down 20 bucks on the next shot? Like, how's that doesn't affect you? Now, if you went all in right now and you're down 500, this would affect you. You see what I mean? Like, if you just put in all you went in and then, or you got greedy and said, I'm going to go even harder now. I think people do that. They make the 1,800 I just made, and it forces them to make a trade that's more risky than the first one. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Man, no pocket square today. First time ever. When I don't have a pocket square, something's going on, right? Something's up. Probably the first time on the channel I've never had a pocket square in my pocket. Ever. See if it can happen. See if it can happen. Funny, do we tie up on the stream? It would be kind of funny, right? Ty cheers me up. Maybe this will change my mood. Yeah, I just wanted a white pocket square. I realized I didn't even put my pocket square on today. Just I love you so much. Hey, Sammy Senorita. Oh my gosh. Open it up over here. Can he do it? Can he get the tie on? Am I going to just piss people off? They're like, why is he putting a tie on during the live stream? You know what? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You know? Oh, yeah, this is one of the tight shirts. Tight on my neck over here. I can barely breathe now. Why would I do this? Tie's kind of scary, right? Someone could technically grab the tie. Never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a fight, someone could grab the tie and just, like, strangle you. What would you do? No, but remember Bart Simpson and Homer? He used to strangle his son. They would never put that on TV again, right? What about the pants? I got the pants. I always got pants on, guys. You got to know, I got navy blue pants on. The pants are always there, all right? There's always pants, all right? Now, look how much better that looks. Let's be honest. How much better does that look than when I'm on my last look? Just be honest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyone could VC it up. But, like, I'm just saying, like, something about that tie and that pocket square that really just brings the room together. It really just ties the room together, you know? Get it? Ties the room together? Hey. Hey, that'll wake you up. Oh. Anyway, so it looks like this bear flag's going to continue. Look how high that stochastic is. Look at the curve to the downside. And it seems like there's going to be some more coming. All right? I don't believe you. Just this once. The pants were on to sell the lie. Yeah, just this. No. I show pants every day. We show proof of pants every stream because we know how it is. Oh, there you go. And there is the camera going off. Of course the camera was going to go off today. Everything that could go wrong will go wrong today. It's just one of those days, man. I'm telling you, man. I'll get it up and running. Hold on 1 second. I just got to unplug and plug something. So we're still in the short. Remember, I'm distracting you for a split second, but it didn't change the TA. I'm not talking about technical analysis. Like right now, we are still in that short, right? I took money on a short. We are live trading. This is the real deal, Holyfield, right? We're not playing around. We got you. And we're showing you how to win every single day here on the channel. Somehow the camera disappeared. Camera fell on me. I don't know what's happening now, everybody. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the camera went. I don't know why it won't work no more. I don't know what's happening. This has been a wacky day, man. Why did this thing get so... Why did the camera get so big? Like, why is the camera not working for me here? The camera stopped working. The camera stopped working. The camera stopped working. Hello? 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 Anybody care about me? Anybody actually care in the studio? Nope. Nobody gives a dang. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the camera stopped working today. I can't figure it out. I usually can. I think we're going to be on here. Got it. All right. I fought through. I took a fuse out. I called an engineer, and I got it going. Clear the cookies, then restart your entire house. I know, right? Have you tried turning it off and on, back on? I did that 100 times over here. Flip it long over here. Sammy doing damage. We got it. Shout out to the 1,623 people here on the live. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the 160,000 people here. Oh my gosh, that's so many people. No, seriously. But that would be amazing. One day, we'll have 160,000 people here on the live. The camera took the short, tried to take me out. Camera tried to short me. But you know what? I figured it out. I'm an engineer over here. Thank God I have all the skills to fix it all. And I don't have to rely on a team or people. Because you never know, right? So we're still in a short here in a short flag on the 1 minute time frame. We're going to do our top-down analysis for BTC. Looks like we're in a descending triangle that could break to the downside. This is one of the ye old dumpy patterns that loves to dump. I might even be able to go back into a short again. The only thing would be cool is if it can come up one more time. All right, I'm looking for this entry here. This would be pretty cool. Right at that POC, kind of like a head and shoulder there. So it tells me maybe in 8 hours there's going to be a perfect entry for the short. But we could also just continue to collapse. Book maps suggesting that we do dump pretty hard. Yeah. Thanks to Bobby, your engagement, you're an engineering expert. I know Bobby was on point again. Bobby, thank you. Figured it out in the nick of time, Bobby. I appreciate that. There's no one near Bobby here. It's just me. So let's take a look here at the monthly chart and see what's happening. Got that energy cooking. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you so much for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, man. May God bless you. I thank you so much for being here and kicking it with the Lifer every single day. This has been one of the toughest markets to mentally push yourself through. I do it every single day. I don't know how. And it's been very, 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 very hard. But all we can do is push through every single day. There's nothing else we can do. So, top down with the good vibes. Let's go. So, the first thing we're going to look at is the monthly. Remember how many times I said there's monthly bearish div? Remember how many times I said there's a falling wedge, a rising wedge? I said rising wedges break down to where they began. I said if Bitcoin went down to 81,000, it would be completely normal. We drew a Fibonacci. We said, after a big pump like this, and I said we have tweezer tops of the monthly twice. I said every time I've seen a tweezer top, we have taken a move down, 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 down. I went over this over and over again. It was actually really simple, right? It wasn't that big of a deal. And I kept saying, hey, be prepared for Bitcoin to take a beat down, 91, 92, even possibly down to 85. I could see it, go all the way to here to 82. Maybe it comes into all the way to 70,000. We never know. But I could definitely see some downside for BTC. And what a run it had, right? That's a beautiful leg. It went on a leg, came down, went on another leg. To me, it does kind of look like it's going into a bear market. And I think that's the smartest thing for someone to... we should just prepare for the bear market. And if somehow it gets reversed... See, what will happen is if it reverses, it'll get above the daily 200 moving average. And then we can take it seriously again. Unless it gets above the daily 200, there's just no way to really take any bullish seriously. Look, and the daily is below the 200 moving, and I told you guys this. And we opened up the short right there, 177. That's still in the money. That is still in the money. That's a $17,000 move for Bitcoin. Imagine. Right? You never went holding to drop ship, even if it recovers later on. You lost time and money already. Yeah. Exactly, yes. After a fall, everyone says that. I don't know what... Yeah. Sam doesn't... bear market on crypto, but crypto do pop in bear market, though. Certain sectors in cryptos pops in a bear, not the end of the world. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The cycle is then Trump was bear market using his meme coin to drain liquidity. The Trump coin drained liquidity out of the entire market. 100% it did. Yeah, you could even be a supporter, but you can't. That's facts. It was a cash and grab on crypto for sure. It took all of retail's money and disappeared, and only a certain amount of insiders really took those gains. It was great. Hey, remember I sold the top of Trump? Remember when I told people to sell Trump at around 70? I called the top of that coin. I got out. I made some good money that weekend. Do you remember? Again, people made way more than me, but I call. Did anyone remember me calling the top on? And I even did it on Twitter. I even said it to Frank DeGods. I said, just get out. And then he got hammered. And I said, dude, this is the top. Let me show you how I knew it was the top based on my strategies. And if you take my class, you would have been able to see the top two. Why? Because it's what I teach. So we go back to Trump as it began to pump, right? And when you saw it rally up like this, what happened? Well, you know me. We'll look at it on the deck screener because that's when we're going to get like the most information. But I'm just going to show you how I called the top. And I did. It's on Twitter. I like to search that. Can you search your own? How can you search a tweet of like that you said about something? Is there any way to do that? But I called the top. Did anyone remember? Let's just see if anyone remembers. Did I remember when I called the top for Trump? He said you called the top on XRP as well, somebody said. I remember that day. Remember when I sold XRP? Yeah. Sam, on BTC Exchange was VIP3 before the update. Now back to VO. Dang, that yellow line chart, Doodles, takes us to close to 2030 before we see new all-time highs. I'll fix that. I just kind of doodled there. Yeah. Your search using Gronk. Oh, yeah, it could be like, can you find a tweet that I said when I called the top of Trump coin? Let me see if that works. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I got out of that coin and, figured why. So let's take a look. I just want to, because this will help you understand Bitcoin too. Look, it was possible Adam and Eve never played out. Anyway, you slap on the moving averages after a pump like this, and you can even see it on the 1 hour, the 2 hour. What happens is it gets away from the daily 200 moving average. Now we'll go over it. It's too much right now. Let's see. Who put it up first? Really? Did Binance have it first? Let's take a look. Taking me too long to do all this. But the exchanges hit it too late, and then you got to really look at it on a deck screener, but then I got to build my whole suite. That's what's annoying. All right. Deck screener, I just have to sign in, but it never remembers my indicators. You know what I mean? So I have to add them again. Anyway, if you want to trade my trading style, add the 21, make it white, go to MA, add an MA, right, which is a moving average, and then make a yellow 200. I should be remembered for my white and yellow 200, right? And the style, make it a little thicker on the, yeah, there you go. Okay. So here's the deal. What happens is when price gets crazy and pumps, it gets far away from the daily 21-day moving average. All right. That's the first thing you're going to see happen. Now, if you don't do that on the daily, look for the 4-hour time frame. When you don't get what you want on the biggest time frames, you look for the time frames that matter. And again, like you see look at straight candles to the upside. I mean, you got to understand, like, when you want to tell everyone what a great trader you are, and you've only been in the game along like a couple years, there's probably something to that. Like you probably want to like maybe bow out, right? So anyway, price got way far away. If I could find the pump, there it is. So difficult for me to do, but so look, price made an M. It didn't double top M, okay? And it was away from the 21-day moving average. Like this is so obvious to me. Like that's a top, man. You know what I mean? Anyone thinking that they could hold that puppy, like that's just a... And then there was a liquidity grab. Sam, can you check ZK Forge? That's interesting, and that sounds like privacy, right? How's that short looking right now for BTC that we were stuck in there? It's still kind of flat, but it's looking like we could win. Bear flagging. Let's get back to the top-down analysis for Bitcoin. And then we got the bot that's just like attempting to get out. The bot needs now to get to like 99,000. Honestly, it looks pretty sketchy. I thought I basically wanted to cut the bot off like a lot earlier. I'm thinking maybe, it could take a L. It's never taken one, so 1 L won't be that. We've been in a bear market for 4 years. Bull is coming. Oh, my God, that's crazy. I wish all the worst for, yeah. Who else is still with a short trade? 444. Shout out to anyone that's still shorting this market and taking it for what it is. Anyway. It's like you meant you can't find the tweet where I call them. I'm assuming you're referring to the tweet about predicting the peak of Trump coin. I searched X on January 20th where the post effects called by implying imminent crash with timber. Yeah, but it was my tweet. No. Grok couldn't find my tweet. My ex post. Anyway. Let's get back into the monthly here and do what we got to do. I'm just, when I pull this, I pull the whole fib on this. And so it's going to come down to the 618, which is 55,000. And then it's going to have to hang out. That's going to take months, right? Like it just, maybe it's a little sooner. We'll take this one. All right. And here you go, like December of 2028, right? Because then you're going to have your halving here, right? And then Bitcoin will make a falling wedge like it always does. And then it's going to come back with a vengeance, right? And then look, you could get it to, 161,000 by May of 2029. I don't think people realize, like, I think they think that, like, Bitcoin is just going to take all the money out of the world. Like, it took trillions of dollars, everyone, like, to get here. You know what I mean? Where's the money coming from? And then they all said it's falling, M2 money supply. They just, like, everyone just started, I think they just started telling people stuff, and people just started repeating it, right? Funny, he's like, the X post you're referring to where you called the top of Trump. No. He's like, from your, no. I have to spend more time on that. Anyway, this is how a bear market goes. You'd go to $55,000. All right, you'd hit the 618. You might even whip down to this 39K. I know it's. I don't want to be the 39K would be insane for me. It would send me into. I would just be like, what? After being up so big with Bitcoin at 126,000. Remember when I sold the top too? That was the day when I got back from Singapore. I can't believe that was the day of the top of the market. I was sitting on the plane like, I'm selling the scalp. Anyway, Sammy, the bull market never ends. In fear, always euphoria. I agree with this too. So this will be the first time. I mean, but honestly, it came up. Maybe we have another drop down to 8 from here. And that will be we might see 8 or 9, friends. I don't think people realize, like, there could be more fear coming. And I don't mean to be the bearer of bears news. I just want to be the bearer of real news. I'm not a perma bear or a perma bull. I just got to show you what I'm seeing. All right. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's day is well. Yeah, I see 40K Bitcoin coming. Can't lie. Yeah, so there you go. A whip to the 786 would be $39,000. Sam, can you explain the different time frames and how you trade them? That would just keep watching, because that's kind of what I'm doing every day. Yeah. Watch the top down analysis, and that's kind of me visually showing you how I'm looking at it. So, like, if you're not ready for this idea, and the crazy thing is, it'll bounce one more time, and everyone will say that this is the rally again, and then it will make a right shoulder, and then it will dump. You see what I mean? Like, this could take its time. You're talking the monthly chart here, so. Inverse head and shoulder on the DXY playing out, weakening crypto. Yep. That looks great for a retest. Love it. We will have our bull run 2026 June. Buy from 87 to 75K. See, he's saying, I don't know what's going to happen. See, people are going to tell you what you want to hear. Then you hear it and you're going to be like, yeah, that's right. And then your emotions are quelled by what someone told you. And then you're going to trade on that. It's better off you train your subconscious mind to look at the charts and trade the charts. And that's it. Some could say, well, that's a high, that's a low, that's a higher high. That is technically a higher low on the monthly. I'm with that. And there is some monthly support. So let's talk about the support zones that matter. We've been sticking to the monthly for a long time now and has been giving us the guidance. So you have monthly support at 82.5. If you don't lose 82.5, you could double bottom here. So there's a chance we make a double bottom and save the day. There is a chance. That's your first open-minded bullish statement, right? You could double bottom here and to continue to pump. If you lose that level, 71,000 is just so likely for Bitcoin. It just looks like where we're going. Look at this short starting to pay, though. Again, I just saw 89,900 yet again. And when you see 8s, it's really kind of a sad day, no? I think you're bought a program to buy the dippest. Only Bitcoin has played out the way it should have. Yeah. If Bitcoin goes to 50 to 40,000 at this range, what will happen to the altcoins? Oh, they'll get demolished. they'll go to oblivion, to zero. They already are. I mean, it's like kind of like, you know. I gave up on those altcoins a long time ago. I told you that. When I started selling off and taking heavy profits and just taking money out of the market and selling certain coins for a loss because I could see there was more down coming. Like, I'm not going to sit there and hold for to the end of time. Just not going to do it. All right? I've learned my lesson. I've done it before. I'm not repeating the same exact behavior over and over again. That's just not going to happen to me. So I've been telling you, I've been tethering it up since October 10th, the morning of October 10th, before the crazy dump. I tethered up. And I've been saying it over and over again. So, again, I don't know what to tell you. And then I try to I see the bottom. I tried to call the bottom twice now. I went at it on the daily with the tweezer tops. They got me, right? The night I left Lisbon, I opened up a trade, came home to a loss. So, and I made wins yesterday and wins today. And I'm going to trade one day at a time. If I can make $2,000 a day, I can make 40 grand this month, right? And I can turn this whole ship around and keep myself positive and get myself believing this opportunity. So I have to brainwash myself. Tell myself this opportunity. Keep myself pushing no matter what. They're going to battle us. They're going to take us down. They're going to mentally derange you. This is going to be one of the toughest things you've ever done in your life, trading this market. I'm telling you right now. Most people aren't going to make it, man. Look to the left of you. Look to the right of you. The chances of that person being around aren't that good. Only the strong survive here. This is not a game. This is serious life, man. This is no joke. Look, more down. Look, head and shoulder. That looks like more downside for Sheezy. That's a head and shoulder about to take a dump right there. That's a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio right there. Look at that. That target takes you to 83,600 for Bitcoin. I don't see what's stopping the dump here. I really don't. Lifers Group is solid, jumping back in on Black Friday. Thank you for saying that. I remember you called the top on Trump. Thank you. You kept ADA, though, and some select. Yeah, I still kept my Cardano. You're a joy. Don't call me a joy to be with your joy. And just a peach, brother. Peace and love through smiles. Positivity, yes. Keep the positivity. The strong will survive. Shout out to Vinny. I love you, man. Lucky's just a bit ago with 2.5 in 5 minutes. 127, of course. Sammy is my full-time job. 10 to 12 every day. 24/7. I love you, man. Phil Maniac, I sold all my crypto last month. I think it's foolish to assume altcoins will recover. Some will, but most will die. Yeah, we close on one more weekly candle below 98.7. Pack your bags, boys. Look at this, 89,600, and the melee is coming. The head and shoulder is going to dump. There's a 70% chance this is going to happen. Bookmap has 87,000 there for you, too, as well. And so if you're in the short that I gave you this morning, you are still caking off right now, doing damage. Doing damage. All right. And then we can get all the way down to 86,500. That's the target that I would be presenting for the first place to take. And then the second area would be 83,004, 83,005. And it's almost like we're in greed for, you know what I mean? Extreme fear, baby. That's short money. That's when there's good money. That's like being in extreme greed. The other thing is, this is the close area here that you know what I mean? My whole point is when you're in heavy greed, that's towards the end of the round. It's like, aren't we towards the end of this dumpage? But I just keep saying, you know, that's why if you think too much like that, you're going to start being philosophical. And we don't want to be philosophical. We just want to say, you know what? A head and shoulder dumps, and that's a descending triangle. Like, the more bot-like you are and the less you think about it, you know what I mean? Like, don't have a conversation with yourself about price action. Like, well, it could have gone this way. It could have gone this way. You know what I mean? And you start, like, playing games with, like, what you're reading online and what people... And, like, that means you're getting philosophical. And I'll be honest, a head and shoulder is not philosophical. You get what I'm saying? It's a dump peasy. Yeah. I think Sailor gets liquidated upper 60K. Sam, teach me how to stop being greedy. I always have this thought that I want to make 10K in one trade. Okay. This is very simple, bro. I'm going to change your mind right now through neuroplasticity, all right? You just asked a question. Everything in life is connected, all right? So whether you're building a home, like say you had to go, I always love this idea. You're in a competition and they gave you a pile of, Nantucket stone, those beautiful gray stones. And they gave you the tools, and they said you need to build a one-room house with a little chimney and a little roof, right? And whoever wins first, let's say wins $1 million or something. And you're in one of those building challenges. Now, if you sat there the whole time, so you're trying to make 10K is like trying to put all the bricks in the house at once. That's impossible, right? Again, I guess 10K could be possible. It depends. But my whole point is trying to put all the bricks on at once is not sustainable. It doesn't work. Or trying to put 5 at once. You got to put one brick down, another brick down, another stone, and slowly you'll build the home. Now, if you think about not doing it or you spend any time, the only thing you can do is pick up a stone and put it on. Pick up a stone and put it on. Pick up a stone and put it on. And you need to simplify your behavior. Now, if you start getting emotional and get in your head and start thinking too much, you might think of, oh, that stone might fall on my foot. I don't want to hurt my foot. Or is there a better way to do this? Should I be, you know what I mean? And then like that time spent, you could have been picking up a stone. So my whole point is, like, you're trying to make 10K, but why don't you learn how to make $400? Why don't you learn how to make $200? Why don't you learn how to make $100 5 days straight? Right? So like you want it all, but like that's not how it works, man. Like me, I wanted 100,000 subscribers. That's like you wanting 10K. But like I had to go one subscriber at a time, man. I had to go from 10K to 15K. Like I couldn't get to 100K overnight. Like it wasn't going to happen. You're not going to get to 10K overnight. Get that out of your head, man. Just get it out of your head. Enough is enough. Like you need to be told it's over, bro. All right? Just like when I knew I couldn't get to 100K overnight. I wanted some fast track. I would like someone put me on a podcast with 1 million subscribers. Give me a TED Talk. Just do something for I can just finally get out of this and boom out of, from 40K to 50K. But no, you saw how God made me work for every single thing I had. You saw how I grinded for every single subscriber one at a time. You saw sometimes it felt like we were, it didn't feel like we were getting all the attention we deserve. And then sometimes we did, It was never easy. It was never going to be easy. So stop trying to get this whole 10K out of your head. All right? Exactly. So, and one step at a time. One step at a time. Right? No, and honestly, I'm not calling anyone. I would be happy if I made $20 a day, man. Anytime you have a strategy that produces more than you had before, I don't care what you're making. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. I don't care what you're making. But anytime you have a strategy that produces more than you had before, you're onto something. You just got to stick to it. I will be honest, that S&P looks like it's about to take a dump. Looks like it may follow Bitcoin down a bear flag. You know what I'm saying? That's the strategy. The 21 above the 200. I feel like we got to short the S&P right now on BTCC. I feel like that's what I'm just going to have to do. Just trade my trading strategy. It's trade the 21 when you're above the 200 and don't think clearly about it. I mean, don't overthink it. But Sam, you just said there could be a bounce. It did look like there could be a bounce on the bigger time frame. The daily is tweezers bottoming. But man, I got to be honest, that 4-hour looks pretty bear flag-esque to me. It hit the 21, and that's usually when you start to move. I don't know if I want to spread myself too thin there and go crazy, but wow, 89,787 for Bitcoin. Dang, 89,000. It's just this. It's kind of like, wow. And I'm going to see my net worth just actually disappear. That's crazy, right? Again, thank God I've never made money who I am, and I've never basically counted on money to be who I am, So I'm fine. I go up $1 million, I go down $2 million. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like I never wanted money to make me who I was. So if my Bitcoin stash is up somewhere and then it's down somewhere, I'm just going for how much Bitcoin I can own in the long term. But it is a bit disheartening to see that we could, realistically go somewhere to $39,000 and $50,000. That's a realistic idea. I'm not just trying to be crazy. I'm not a perma bear trying to get, There's some consolidation here. There's a chance that we hold tight at 77,000. That could be a stop. And we are starting to make, like someone said, some weekly hidden bullish divergence. We pull a Fibonacci on the weekly, and we're coming to the 786. I mean, usually we do bounce somewhere around here. I've seen it many times. My thing is this, though. We lost a trend line. You see that? To me, you lost a trend. It's pretty bearish to me. So your hopium copium is somehow you bounce off 786, which is 85,000, and you get very oversold. There's some hidden bullish divergence here, but And again, I see a lot of people calling for a bounce. I don't do that to you guys. You know, I think their trading group depends on them sucking you in. And who knows? I don't even know if that's true. I don't know what other people are doing. I really don't. And I don't want to even half discuss someone else's ideas. What I do know is all I can show you is what the charts are telling me right now. And look, that was an Adam and Eve double top up there, right? We double topped on the weekly right there. I mean, and I'm getting better and better at using bigger time frames just to make the positional move. You know, you look at the daily, you get tweezer tops. Like, that's a tweezer top of the daily, too. Look at the daily, bearish engulfing candle. Free fall. Now you got money, you know, you got BlackRock sending money to Coinbase, thousands of BTC. Are they about to unload? I mean, get out before it gets lower, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. It was all there. A bear flag touching the 21-day moving average above the 200. I teach my students to long this every time. You flip it upside down. That's a beautiful long. You get in there with a stop on the other side of the 200 moving average and let that puppy rip. So this is the S&P kind of looks just like this in the 4-hour time frame. That's what's telling me, man. We're likely going to get more downside here for BTC. And then look, I got the shoulder, head, and shoulder here. So there's not much else to talk about, right? And it looks kind of like a descending triangle with it. And this is the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. We'll put that in again. So you can see how I come down to my top-down analysis and show you what's happening. It's not like fluff. I'm not watching anyone else. I'm going over the charts, and I'm just showing you guys exactly what I see happening in the charts. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And, you know, a heavy resistance there at 93,000, 94K. And a drop down here to 83,698. Okay. Okay. When he Grog right here says, here's the expos from Crypto Lifer where he called the top of the Trump coin by announcing he sold when he claimed was the peak of 77. Date January 19, 2025. Post content. Probably no capital gains on job. I mean, I was born in the US. Just sold the top at 77 though, and I made enough to buy a Corvette overnight. Thank you, Donald Trump. This has been unreal. I guess at the time I said thank you. I don't know if I'm like that, but look, there it is, man. Isn't that crazy? You know what I mean? So, like, and people held that thing. Just crazy, man. You got to run these things for what they are. I did take profits throughout this entire run, too. While other people were playing games, I took profits, man. You know what I mean? I sold off. I took profits. So, it is what it is. I'm sorry that other people, I've been through too many cycles not to take profits. 89,005, Bitcoin absolutely collapsing. And I feel like getting into a late short right now is kind of crazy, but maybe I risk smaller amounts too as well. Oh, and that's been, yeah. I got this one open. And look, we're going to add to the day's pay, man. That's a bear flag right there. Flip it upside down. That's my signal. That is my signal right there. I feel like I should just add to this trade just a beat. Just a beat. Shorting it. Stop loss 92,518. 86.5. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say you should be taken as financial advice. Never trade the way you see someone trading. You can learn my strategies, tips, and tricks. You can take my class I teach at the last Saturday of every month to jump on in. I'd greatly appreciate that. Okay. You can see how we navigate the markets every single day, calm, cool, and collectively. We have a long-term vision and a long-term plan. And I'm not addicted to money. So if I lose some and I win some, I'm not going to be depressed about my life. All right? I got to just find a way to be happy no matter what. Happy with my children, happy with my wife, happy with my connection to God. And just clear my mind and be free. You're only on this world for so long. Don't ruin it stressing money. I'm telling you right now, that will be the worst thing you can do. Money will come and go, but your chi, your frequency is what you must procure. It's about you keeping yourself whole. It's about you keeping who you are. Don't let money take you away from who you are. And if you're having trouble with that, pray to God or find a way to say, you know, find a way because it's not easy. 89,454 for Bitcoin. And the target down there is 86,500. Looks like we may go lower. Some bullish divvy starting to kick in there. Something's telling me just to chill out. Be happy with my day's pay. There's another day to trade. But it looks like we could get the massive move soon, though. I am foaming a little bit for that bigger move. I'm like, damn, I want to cash in on that. So the 4-hour S&P is below the 200, touching the 21. You need to get a miracle inverted head and shoulder here, or this thing is going to take you down, down, down to 64.51. And the DXY is starting to make a bit of a move. People are saying pump it to the upside. Look at that thing. It had an inverted head and shoulder, shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside there. Look at the bigger time frames for the DXY. Almost looks like a double bottom, right? That could rip up. See this? And head to the 200 moving average. Let's take a look at what I'm seeing here. Bit of like a flag here as it could break out of this to the upside. And then pump all the way to what? 101,000, right? Touching the, you know, this, it's right at the 200 moving average. But look at that. I mean, that's what I trade this all the time. That bull flag on the 21. It looks like there's going to be a decent pump there for the DXY from its bottom. And look, the stochastics are telling you there could be a run. You want to look at U.S. tether dominance. If that's booming to the upside, people are tethering up hardcore. Look at they are. Got to see, it's like a rising wedge. I mean, that's like kind of crazy. Tether's going to break out parabolically. So weird. They sold you. You know what? It's funny. I can't tell me it. I always remember being with my family and Bitcoin tanking on Thanksgiving. Every single Thanksgiving, Bitcoin takes a beatdown. An absolute beatdown. Insanity, right? Every single time, man. I can't remember a time I wasn't sitting there and we didn't take a beatdown. Just nuts to me. So, yeah, I mean, I'd watch that DXY. You could say, well, there, you know, no, I mean, it looks like it could continue. That looks like it's going to moon, which would send Bitcoin way lower. Way lower. I could see that flag take a hit right there. You know, the target will almost have to be at like 91,204. And it's still a 2-to-1, like, if I add to it. You know what I mean? Not being greedy is a very difficult task. I will tell you that. And whenever you can, oh, but it's going to be a big one. I could take this to the downside, you know? That 5 minute looks like it's collapsing. Getting away from the 21-day moving average, though, right? With the stochastics a bit low. I'm going to wait. I'm going to give it a couple hours to see it consolidate a bit. I may miss the massive dump. 1 hour looks like it's just going to continue to roll over, though. Look at the 1 hour. 1 hour looks absolutely disastrous, doesn't it? I mean, or great for the bear. Great for the bears. And we can make bear money. We can make money either way. It does not matter. So we don't have to stress. We can, we will, we are the best. We can do this. We've got this. We can get it done. But I'm just going to sit tight right now. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to sit with my winnings for the day and relax. No reason to push it. All right? No reason to push it. Okay. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Live Show. My name's Sam Price. We teach live trading skills every single day. We got off the hodl tip a long time ago. We told you it's about doing what you got to do every single day in this market. Look, there's Da Vinci. There's everybody. And Bitcoin will go lower over time. Look, they're eventually going to have someone doing this. That's like AI, right? It's going to be crazy, man. AI could replace doctors, right? Man, this guy, my man. MM Crypto, man. Good guy. Fun to hang out with. Always in a good mood. I mean, why not, right? He's living his dreams. He's living his dreams. He's living his dreams. Yeah, little pop there for Bitcoin back to 89,700. So, Could it double bottom here? Is there a chance? I mean, I see more downside. It looks like it could take, look, 1, 2, 3, like that might take 5 to 6 hours or more. We go to the plus side and hit shift. Yeah, they could take 14 hours, 10 hours, something like this. Okay. That's one thing I'm looking at. All right. For sure. So, and then we get another dump. Like, it's almost like this. Check it out. You got a shoulder, a head, a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. It could be a complex head and shoulder, just a messy one. So it looks like there could be a little more time. And what they'll do is they'll kind of, they'll get enough people to think it could possibly bounce again on a double bottom or something. You know what I mean? And then they'll flush those longs. They just want to build more longs down here so they can take more money out of the market. So I see more bearishness. It just looks like we have to kind of wait it out. So I see either a drop coming immediately or some kind of sideways drop. But I don't see a reversal coming. I do not. And if Bitcoin, the only thing I would do is if Bitcoin gets back above the 15-minute 200 moving average, I may take it somewhat seriously. But that's pretty far away, and you can see it's bunched up now. And look at the shoulder, head, right shoulder. Like, you flip this upside down, I mean, that's a pump up. And I know I got a lot of lines now. It's deleted. It's too much. But it's just, that is critical time for Bitcoin. I love that. That's this song, right? Crucial time for Bitcoin. Dumping in your face, What do we do now? Bitcoin collapsing at the speed of light. Absolutely horrible. I love Bitcoin. Been, acquiring Bitcoin for years. Buying so much BTC and then watching it dump in my face. The best feeling in the world while my net worth collapses. My net worth has dropped from $120 to $89,000, which is $30,000, right, per BTC. So that means my net worth is down 30%. Actually, about 25%, right? Because, 30 times 4 is 120. I mean, but hey, anyone that holds Bitcoin is down. Their net worth is down 30%. Michael Saylor's down. Billionaires are down. Scaramucci. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're holding Bitcoin for the long term, you're going to have to hold the pain. That's why most people will never hold BTC, and that's why most people can't hold it. They're not in for the volatility. But, volatility is the king. It's the key. It's the way we work. And the more volatility you have in an asset, the more opportunity you have to trade it. So, and that's kind of how I look at it. All right? We got to find opportunity. Otherwise, the joke's on us. And I'm not going to let the joke be on me. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to fight through this market no matter what. I'm going to find a way to win. I found a way to make money today. I made $1,800 in front of you. I could have made more. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But it is what it is. I did what I had to do. And I sold a pretty good area. We went down lower. I would have made even more. But it's okay. Remember, we're not here for money. We're here for experiences. Money gives us experiences. When you lose money, if you ever lost money you shouldn't have, it's an experience. It doesn't feel too good, but that's an experience. What you learn from that isn't the money losing. It's the feeling you got from losing the money, right? Agreed? 100%. So what does that mean? It means that we're here to learn from how we feel. It means to learn from the experiences that we go through. I don't know if you ever broke up with someone you were, fell in love with. I've been in love a few times in my life. And to lose, to break up, I was with a girl for 4 years. We broke up. I met her when I was 12 years old. We broke up when I was 17. We were basically for 5 years together. She broke my heart. She told me she loved me, but she wasn't in love with me anymore. And then I saw her messing around with a guy I knew just a few months later. And it ripped my heart out. It ripped my heart. I was a callous man. I went to college. And I'd get close to women, and then I would just kind of, after we'd have a close relationship, I would just kind of walk away. Once I saw that we were going to close enough to be in a relationship, I'd end the relationship because I was too afraid of getting hurt again. See what I mean? And then I got into another one that lasted 2.5 years. I've been in 3 long-term relationships in my life, and then me and my wife. It's not easy. So I've had my heart broken a few times, and I've broken some people's hearts too. When I was just confused. Remember this one girl being like, man, you were such a nice guy. What happened? I remember her she saw me years later, and I was like, I told her I was in a bad spot, man. I said, you were nice. And I was afraid. I'm sorry, I told her. I was able to tell her that because she was nice and I liked her. There was nothing wrong with it. We actually could have made it, but I wasn't ready. I don't know why I'm telling you this stuff, but I just want to let you know I've been through a lot, and maybe you have too, She was a doorknob, brother. Everyone got a turn. This guy's so funny, man. Yo, you're the best, bro. Oh my God. No, man, she was I don't want to tell you the truth, but I was the first. You know what I mean? I was the first. I can verify that. Anyways, let's not get into that anymore. Tread lightly, Sam. Your wife is sharpening the hatchet. I've been with my wife 20 years, you know, so this is a long, long time ago. Sam, you're really my twin, man. I love you, brother. Shut up, Sam. This guy. You guys are funny, man. Shut it. No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. No, but then I met my wife. I met my wife in 2005, if you can believe that. I met my wife in 2005. Our 20-year anniversary passed this May. 20 years, man, I've been with my wife. We got married in 2010. Yeah. No, what I'm thinking about is life is I'm thinking about the ups and downs in trading, the ups and downs in relationships, and the ups and downs that we all go through. Some of the first disappointments as an adolescent to me is when you get your heart broken. You know, I'm just going over the human experience, not even mine. You can read a book about it if you want. You don't have to listen to me, you know. And my whole point is we go through an experience in life. Remember, that's where I was going, right? Remember when I started this whole thing? You're not here for money. We're here to learn. We're here to feel the pain sometimes or to feel the win. We're here to experience it all, the ups and downs of life. That's what we're here for, right? No matter what. I mean, that's the true essence of what we're all here for. So money will consume you. You'll think about it all the time. You'll get liquidated. It'll make you cry. It'll get in your head. You'll get emotional. But just take a deep breath and know that somehow, some way, if you take it, if you learn, you study, you stay calm, you stay focused, somehow, some way, you're going to find the opportunity. If you bug out the whole time and let your emotions take the best of you, then, you know, and it happens to me sometimes. I'm not telling you it doesn't. You know, the most successful people break down. They just don't do it publicly, right? You broke my heart with the C8. Oh, I'm so sorry. He didn't even read the message because it's true. What the heck? Oh my God, what a horrible person. God bless you, man. I didn't even read that. I don't want to read that. That's just a negative behavior. I gave a positive trade today. It went exactly in the direction that we put it in. Life is good. Yeah. Asking my wife to marry me is the best thing I ever done, hands down. Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah. You can date in there. You're so funny, man. I still hold Colin, yeah, for no reason, right? Complete garbage now. Sam, what do you get in the promotional code? You will get the promotional code for the Friday sale, Black Friday sale, okay? You will get that 24 hours in advance. So if you want to jump on into the Black Friday sale, go to CryptoLifer. Actually, go to the link at the bottom of my videos. Hit that link, and that's going to take you where you need to go, all right? And you can fill out the form. That's going to give you a discount 24 hours before Black Friday. It starts the Thursday night and ends Friday at 12:01 in the morning. See what I mean? I think you can all follow along with that. You guys know how to trade, so I think you got that down. And so hurry up and do that so you can stay in the group for the least amount of money. Right now, a lot of people got hurt, right? There's not tons of money going around. Let's offer a very, 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 it's for literally, I think it's over $2.20 a day. So for $2 a day, man, I'm here every single day without taking time off. And we might find there might be a sector that pops off out of nowhere. I'll be paying attention to it. There's going to be opportunity. Even if Bitcoin goes down, there will be opportunity. All right? There will be opportunity every single time. So you just got to focus on that opportunity. That's all you got to do. Right? Yeah. 100%. Yeah. 100%. Remember, people are always going to be upset about you if you run a proper business and they don't. Remember that. That's what people do. All right? That's what people do. Imagine being so bored or broke, you're sitting here trying to degrade a man who helps people make money almost every single day of the year. Oh yeah, I thought you were saying, can I still enter for a short sale now? Made that mistake once. Single lifer here, yeah. I'm on the lifer for Friday. God bless you, man. Do you fast in Ramadan? That's between me and my God, man. Yeah. I don't really want to preach about what I do and what I don't do to people. I believe in God, and I believe that there's a higher power out there and a wave we can ride if we connect to a higher frequency. And I don't push anything else. I don't put, if you love Jesus, love Jesus. If you love Muhammad, love Muhammad. If you do Kwanzaa, right? If you're Jewish, I love every human being on this earth. I can look past all the ups and downs, and I will fill myself with love no matter what. There isn't something someone can do to me to make me feel hate. Because hate is something that I will have to hold no matter what, and I refuse to do that. You know, the old me didn't understand frequency at all, and when I would hold hate for others because I thought it was justified, I didn't realize it was eating me alive. So now, and every time I feel hate, I know that, you know, I shun it, and I turn myself around and say, I need to learn to love all people. Even if they don't love me, even if they don't understand me, even if they might even be detrimental to me. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not going to fight for, if you come at me and you try to take what's mine physically or try to hurt me, I will fight for my life. I will fight for my life. I will fight for my life. But as far as words and philosophies go, I refuse to hate anybody, man. I refuse to hate anybody. Yeah. Only real men make it to the altar. God bless you, man. Yeah. Exactly. 76K by January. Do you understand? Makes a lot of sense. No way, bro. You were right next to me. I'm from Webb Ave and University Road. It's so awesome, man. We love Florida, Elvis Presley. Why I love Florida, Elvis Presley? I don't know. I love Florida, man. This is why I watch the life for the trading is extra. So now here we sit at 89,589. We gave the short today. I did sell early like I do. The target is, well, I wish the target was in there. 82,304. You can see it right there. 82,304. In case you never know, look, 94 of it's all the numbers are right there. In case you can't see. Right? The entry, well, the timing was the entry too, which I, you know, said if you get in when you get the signal, then you know, right? And people say, is that someone says, you know, someone said to me, is this a signals group? And I said, that's not a signals group, but some days you will get an exact trade, right? Miami all day and night, baby. Dade County. Gulf of Mexico all day, baby. Gulf of Mexico all day over here. Nah, Gulf of America. I'm messing with y'all. But Gulf of America all day. I feel the love. Is it real? Is it a word we use to describe an illusion? She will turn. I don't know, man. No one here is a sign of success. Yeah. Bitcoin 3-day RSI is as low as it was in the bear market. Bitcoin was at 15K. There's a lot of reasons why we could bounce here. 89,500 is a key area. I think 88,000. But, you know, and again, we could double bottom here. I definitely think it's a great place to nibble on BTC, personally, right? Why it feels this will turn bullish all of a sudden. Get the signal, someone go outside and turn on the antenna, right? Gulf of Central America. You're funny, man. Miami all day and night, baby. I love you. The feeling of love isn't real. It's a word we use to describe an illusion. She will turn her back on you. You guys are funny, man. Hey, man. You've been through a lot. I can tell. I can tell. It hasn't been easy for anybody. And it never is. Whatever, bro. You still out here in Fordham, out there. Bro, you still out there in Fordham Road? How did you know I was out there in Fordham Road? That's in the Bronx, baby. I know Fordham Road. I used to go up there. I used to go to Fordham, actually. My buddy lived there. My buddy went to school there. I went to St. John's. I take the D train. Remember the D train? I take the D train up to the Bronx. I could take the 6, too. I'd take the 6. I think I could take the 6 or the D. The D was just like a further walk or whatever, but I could take either one. I took the D train. I mean, why does everyone else in Florida love Elvis Presley so much? I was in Florida last year, and everyone there is crazy about Elvis Presley. Because he ain't nothing but a hound dog, rocking all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit, then you ain't no friend of mine. Oh, yeah, man. Man. Let me get a sandwich. He's answering the question for me. Yeah. Now, I sold Riverdale in Florida. I know Riverdale in the Bronx. My buddy lived up there. My buddy lived in Riverdale, man. I know Riverdale. He lived in an apartment building right after. Yeah, I know exactly where that was. JFK High School here is the hooded school. Can anyone handle a man streaming with a Bitcoin colored mic? Right? We got the Bitcoin mic, man. I feel like it fell a little bit, or I felt like I had it positioned differently yesterday. Maybe it was like It's more like you couldn't see the mic, you know? Had to put both mics up. Dual mics. Hope it's 89K double bottom. We dead cat bounce. Even if it's just 100K. Want to milk some profit for the loss of my alts and unload. I try to let the joke slide. I know. Everyone's worst is their worst. Yeah. So look, remember I told you I'm just going to wait. I was going to double down on that short. I decided to chill. Now it's only up $6. Pretty flat here on weeks right now. So I'm just going to sit tight. Let lunchtime pass here. But it definitely looks like it's going lower. I'm looking for maybe another right shoulder. I'm looking for a bounce here. See on the 15? I'd like to see it roll over in here for the next couple hours. And, you know, if it breaks out above here, then we can long. I would only long if you get above the 200 and the 21 touches the 15. I would only trust the 15 minute. I wouldn't use the 1 minute or the 5 today. So there's a chance I call a long later on if we get above there and we pump. You never know, but I'm looking for the short. I'm open-minded for both scenarios, and I can trade them both. I'm looking for the descending move down here to 89,000, 83,770. All right. Trump going live soon. Oh, no. Every time he goes live, man. Can you give a brief recap of the stream, Sammy? Was in class for the past hour, but kept the stream on, baby. Yeah, we shorted the market. I made $1,800. I called this short in the trading group. It does look like we could go lower. I sold. I opened up another scalp here. It's up $14, and we're just kind of watching right now. I'd like to add to the short, but I'd like to see if we can consolidate inside of here for the next 2 hours first before I add to it. There's a chance if I wait too long, we might just dump and I may not be able to get in. All right. So that's kind of where we sit. And maybe an inverted head and shoulders. Now, if it crosses the 200 moving average on the 15, this yellow line, and the 21 comes up, then but look how the 21's curving down, and we're close together. That usually means more downside. And so this, to me, looks like it's going to dump. Yeah, my mom got me kicked out anyway. She wanted to keep her kid. You're funny. Any alts pumping today? Yeah, President dump. Oh, no. Holding L1, I don't know, is whatever. They'll be back. Thanks, Sam. 50-minute 200 May. Gotcha. Yeah, that's all I'm. Yeah, we are definitely sideways, brother. I see your chart and visualize it as well. Yeah, we made a stop here. There seems to be some support at 82,000, 89K. And we bounce off 89.5, which is psychological. A lot of people are going to take a shot there. All right. If your humble opinion is the top in, yes, we made a top. We topped out. Now, could it be a bigger cycle where we get back above the 200 on the daily in a few weeks? It's possible. If we get back above the daily 200 moving average, you'll see me flip bullish again, and we will go at a bullish move. But until then, I would tell you the top is 100% in, and it's a bear market. So you better just assume we're in a bear market until the daily gets back above the 200 moving average. Simple. And I showed you this every single time an asset lost the daily 200. We were in a bear market. You can go back test this today. This is your homework today, everyone. Look, there's the bear flag when we touched the 21. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days to get so paid. And this may not be done yet. You have some support here at the high volume node at 84,004. So 84.4 looks like your next stop, and then right there at 76,000. Look at that descending triangle. Like, it's just crazy how it happened, right? So remember, when you lose the daily 200 moving average, and people say, well, what's the difference? You lost it here both times. You weren't that high on the weekly these times when you did that. Understand? Like, go to the weekly and see that the weekly wasn't as exposed. You know, that's why I you could switch this. You could put this on like BTC USD, Coinbase. And we'll take a look. And we go to like the daily, yeah, or even the weekly. Yeah, go to the weekly here. Go to the weekly on the big time frame, the daily on the other one, right? And you'd see like the weekly, they were really tight. And we got below the 200 moving average, but the weekly was tight. Then here, we got below the daily 200, but the weekly moving average was still close. You know, that's not, and you had a flag and everything. Then we dumped here, and the weekly moving averages are starting to get pretty far apart. And we were below. And then now, the weekly move, the 200 is really far away from the 21. And that's when, so that's why this, when you lose the 200 here on the daily, it's a lot different than the last two times because it's based on how far the weekly is. Remember, I teach you guys to get in when the moving averages are tight, to get out when they're far apart. It goes over and over again. This is what happens time and time again. We've seen this day in and day out, over and over again. Tight moving averages to big ones, tight moving averages to far apart. And we see what happens every single day here. Yeah, Zen down, Aster down. It just like, it doesn't matter what you buy. It doesn't matter how low you get it at. It doesn't matter if you buy the dark lows. It doesn't matter if you buy the bottoms in the reddest days of the year. This year, I went at so many red days. I did all the things I did. As a disciplined trader, I bought the reddest days possible. It didn't matter. The altcoins hammered me. It did not matter. I was so disciplined. I waited weeks and months to buy only the biggest red candles on the worst days of fear. It didn't matter. I was not rewarded for my bearish buys. I was not. It was one of the first times this is the first time in my life that a cycle did that to me. Now, maybe I can keep holding and I'll be rewarded in a few years from now, and I'm willing to hold some of them, but dang. After holding 5 years, that has kept my money on the sidelines in other ways. See, crypto used to happen in 2 years, but when an asset takes that long, it's now not, you know what I mean? Now I'm losing time and money, and you only have so much time on this earth. So this cycle really caught us off guard. That's why you had to trade it. You had to trade it. Very important that we traded it and not just sat there and hodled it. And there was, like Trump coin too, as crazy as it was, there was an opportunity there to take advantage, Same here, I'm turning trader after this cycle, 100%. Pull over, no alt season at least. The S&P is up 60% this year. God is good and the higher frequency is what brought us here, 100%. God bless you, thank you. Sam, if you said this a million times, I don't use EMAs. Yeah, I use the SMAs. Yeah. It becomes not worth it when it takes that long. Too much risk, and there was hardly any real upside. Exactly. You only trade Bitcoin, so maybe you are the Bitcoin lifer. Hey, I mean, that's what had to happen. Well, Bitcoin is crypto, right? So we still got the short open, and it really looks like that's the most likely scenario. Stop loss above, 91.2. I'd actually like to see it. I like it up 92.6 personally, but still not a great trade. It's basically a 2-to-1. Like I have to risk 4 for 9, 6 for 12. Like it's a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. I feel like it's definitely in my favor to dump though. Head and shoulder pattern looking horrible. And I want to make up the 10 minutes I was late, 15 minutes I was late here. So I'm going to give it back to you on the other side. Let's jump back into the super chats. That way we make sure the stream is as long as it always was. And you can't say that he didn't put in the full effort. Okay. So that was my plan all along. Good morning. Could you please take a look at ASTER from DHMAA? Let's take a look at ASTER. Thank you so much for the super chats. Super nice of you. That looks like it's going to continue to collapse and fast. Like the way I'm looking at now on the daily time frame, that looks absolutely horrible. Just looks like a falling wedge that's going to break out of the falling wedge. These things break down out of a falling wedge. It's very rare a falling wedge breaks down, but when they do, they just fall straight down. They just... You haven't seen one of those in a while where the falling wedge absolutely dumps. Dude, there was a bear flag here too. Like it was just all, dang, There was the right shoulder there that I gave you right there. Wow. Just, you know it could happen, but when you see it happen, it's a bit... It's like that volcano could erupt, but then you see the volcano erupt, and you're like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. Everything has its place. ASTER had made this big bottom. And now it's kind of bouncing. Higher lows, higher highs. I mean, it could just collapse. You never know. It's all high risk to me at this point. I've lost a lot of faith in speculating on altcoins. A lot of faith. And that's kind of crazy because that's how I did really well for years. It's just been a different type of cycle. It's a bit of a support of resistance there. If ASTER is bullish, you'd expect this to pump. It's getting oversold. It's at support and resistance, and it is touching the 21. And it has slowly dug itself out of this bigger, rounded bottom. And rounded bottoms pay the bills. Take out Lond, low, and pump. Love you, Sammy. You're the greatest. Thank you. God bless you. You're the greatest for saying that. Can you look at Bitcoin, sir? You're so funny. I love you, bro. Of course I can. Sam, can you check ZK Forge privacy ecosystem? I like it. This guy's giving us a hint right now. ZK Forge. Let me take a look at that. Like Vulcan Forge, right? Are they only on Deck Screener right now? ZK Forge. Interesting. Look at it pumping hard. Now it's making a head and shoulder, though. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Also feel like it's in a bit of a flag here. And it could break out to the upside, something like this. Bounce off this key level and continue to pump. I mean, that's a bull flag there. I would add the fibs. I would take a look at what's happening. But, I mean, you got that narrative. Super high risk. Super high risk. I don't think I would be jumping in right now. Someone does that, you're a true degen. But, I mean, it does have the narrative of the ZK privacy, and that has been moving. So, Sam, can you explain the different time frames and how you trade them? I think I kind of did today in so many ways. And I really can't explain that. That would have to sit with me one-on-one, and we'd have to really do that together. ZK Singh, please, or Dash. Thank you, Kurt. Oh, XRP. Thank you, Kurt. Let's take a look at ZK Sync, Dash, and XRP for Kurt. We're going to give you it all because you're the man. So ZK Sync on MEXC USDT. So remember, last time I looked at it, I said, let's see if it could stay inside a flag, go sideways, and continue to pump. But it actually went sideways down, but it still made this kind of falling wedge. To me, that looks bullish. And privacy coins may get their own little run. Like Bitcoin could kind of find a bottom at one point, settle off. Like where we can't really get, there's going to be a point where it's just going to kind of mill around. And people are just going to be like, what the? It's funny, I already bought these prices. Like I already bought 70K and I bought a lot of it. I already bought 69,000. I already bought 55. Like I'm all set. Like I kind of put in what I was willing to buy for BTC. I'm kind of done. Like I have enough Bitcoin for the rest of my life. I'm done. Like I don't need more Bitcoin personally. I mean, I guess you can always get more. But I feel like it's greedy at this point. Like, I'm happy. And so, from there, just like, okay. So, I'm just kind of, that's why I did what I did the other day. I'm putting money other places. I took money out of the market and put it somewhere else. You know? Like, Lamborghini stock ain't going down because Bitcoin's dumping. It's just not happening. Right? You know what I'm saying? Cadillac, you know, if you buy like a classic car right now, if you went and bought like a Model T Ford at some auction, that's not going down because of Bitcoin. If you went and bought a Mona Lisa painting somewhere, that's not going down. Like, there's other ways to invest. There's art. Art's a great way. Art is uncorrelated to the market. It's correlated to the scarcity of that artist. That artist might be getting old and dying, I'm sorry to say, or in their 80s, and they might not make enough paintings in the next few years, and their paintings become scarce. ZK Sync does look interesting, and if I pull a fib, it's also on, look at that, and I'm going to pull it cleaner, but from this bottom right here up to the top, you could say we came right down to the 618 golden pocket. All right, let's take a look at Dash. Dash was a little more bearish, wasn't it, when I looked at it recently? Well, he's still holding that level, but it's like, you know, it could kind of almost be a descending, you know, or a symmetrical triangle. Still going sideways, and it kind of feels like this privacy narrative isn't over. And it got pumped and dumped, but it bounced off 618, 786s. You can see right there, it's right near the 618. And it has already bounced off that 786. You know, it is calling, and there's kind of a move up. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a privacy pump. Because that's a narrative no matter what. It's a narrative no matter what right now. Horizon. I wanted to see it bounce. It looked like it did, and then it kind of did one of these. Definitely in a symmetrical triangle, though, that could go either way, and it could definitely break out of that. As you can see, the narrative for these privacy coins is a little different than the rest of the market. Still, though, I could see everything just completely Bitcoin has me on edge with everything. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP was holding a higher low, but if Bitcoin collapses, so will XRP. So people don't realize, man, it's all about the Bitcoin show. So we were watching this slower high here. But then it almost looked like, look, XRP was in a descending triangle. You see this? And look, a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder. And look, I see XRP bouncing to 180 as Bitcoin takes it down. Good morning, sir. Can you look at FIRO? God bless. Let's look at FIRO. I gave a big, nice call for that thing, and now it came back down. It gave a lot of the gains away. And I said, let's watch it inside this flag. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. It's interesting. It's like it got sold off, but there seems to be a want for it, right? Seems to be a desire for this FIRO. So I'm looking for something like this here. And if I switch, see, this is the other mic. Can you believe that? This is the yellow mic. Which mic would you like? This mic? Or this mic? I mean, the SMB7, it doesn't get better than the SMB7. That's why people use the SMB7. You hear the clarity here? You hear the radio quality? You think it's my voice? It's the SMB7. It's a $600 mic for a reason. Why every single creator that's top-notch and has any type of budget has an SMB7. Don't play yourself, okay? It's the SMB7 or it's not. And now they have the new one, the SMB7 V2, which I think I'm going to get next week and order it up, because why not? FIRO looks interesting to me. Again, I wouldn't jump on, but I'd like to see it consolidate. If it does this, pulls the moving averages, we have ourselves a privacy narrative. This will move with privacy coins. Look, we got FIRO, however you would call it. We got Dash, ZK Sync. We've got, remember ZKF too. Let's see what that looks like, which was ZK Swap. ZK Swap Finance, if I remember. Oh, no, it was ZF. ZK Swap Finance. Oh, that demolished. Look at that. Yikes. But you got Dash. You've got R chain. Let's take a look at R, which is Pirate Chain. Dumping too. That one's in the dumps, kind of, actually. See, I have it, though. I'm looking. It could be a bounce. So you're looking to see if there could be a privacy narrative. FIRO looks a little better than the other ones, I have to be honest. Thank you so much for the super chats, everybody. Shout out to Algosaurus8918. Shout out to Stash. Shout out to Kurt Shore. Twice. Shout out to Botmation, Flippin' Keys, My Travel Guide, Carlos Alejandro, and DHMAA. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you so much for being awesome and amazing. We love you, we appreciate you, and we care about you. We thank you so much for being part of this live stream every single day. Bitcoin going lower. 89,345. Looks like that head and shoulder is going to break down and head to the target at 86,574. More done side for Bitcoin. And again, remember, I did open this short in front of you and said I would stay short. Basically, shoulder, head, right shoulder. We get in right there. We put a stop loss above the right shoulder. We take this to the measured move down to 86,281. It's a very simple way to trade. Let me show it to you one more time. It's a head and shoulder pattern that's dumping. Look at this. This is a descending triangle right here on the 4-hour time frame that's about to take you all the way down, down, down. More downside for BTC is coming, in my humblest of opinions. More downside for Bitcoin is coming, in my humblest of opinions. Look at that. I mean, how does that not dump? It's a descending triangle. They dump 60, 90% of the time. So, and I've proven that if you watch my channel, how many times have you seen this pattern dump? I mean, it's a vicious pattern. Even Master Friend's like, oh, that's the one. Like, he's like, oh yeah, that's the one. So I see a dump here for Bitcoin headed all the way down to about 79, 80K possibly even. I wanted to see if it consolidated a little bit more, but it looks like it may just continue to dump here. I'd like just, waiting for that better pattern. So that's what I'm leaving you with here today, that Bitcoin is likely going further down to $80,000. And this is the real deal. This is a bear market, friends. When you're below the daily 200 moving average, you're in a bear market. If you're below the daily for more than 2 weeks, You're in a bear market, friends. Okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. That's how I work. You do, and I don't have to follow anyone's rules but my own. Well, look how long we've been down here. Hit shift and go sideways. Been 16 days below the 200 moving average. That's a bear market. A death cross on the daily. That's a bear market. Period. You say, well, we're in a bear market here then too, Sam? It was 30 days below. Yeah, but we made an inverted head and shoulder here. Again, I'm a guy of patterns. If this does this, I'll long this right shoulder. You know what I mean? And then we get above the 200 and the 21 crosses, I'll long that flag. Like, my system has already told me what I should be and should not be doing based on the markets. And I'm just going to listen to the probabilities and nothing more and nothing less. So this tells me to short the 4-hour time frame to the done side. It actually says it's already gone. When I had a memory of being in a thrift store my dad used to take me to right now. Not weird, just like I hadn't thought about that place in a long time. I'm on the stream and it was this old furniture store he liked to go to in Brookline on Calm Ave. My dad loved used things. He never wanted to buy new. He always wanted to buy something with some character, something that he found somewhere. He had to go on an adventure to find the object, and that kind of gave him more, story behind the object, right? My dad said anyone could buy a new car. I wonder what my dad would think about my life now, Anyway, I love you all. I appreciate you. I care about you. 80,730 for Bitcoin. Looks like a key area to go to. And I'm almost convinced we're going to go there. There's a possible double bottom, but I firmly believe there's more going down. Like my trading style and system tells me we're dumping, just like it told me this morning we were going to dump. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Good morning, sir. Can you look at FIRO? We did that. Thank you. I looked at Bitcoin stats. Thank you, Kurt Shore. I looked at XRP, Dash, and ZK Sync for you. All three, Kurt. Automation. Thanks for the. It looks great for a retest. God bless you, Sam. Can you explain the different time frames and how you trade them? I kind of did. It took even more time, and I do it every day. So just keep showing up. Take out loud and low pump. I think I know what you're saying. Yeah. And DHMA. We looked at ASTER and we looked at ZK Forge. Everyone, thank you so much for being awesome. You people are amazing. You provided so much awesome support for me, and I truly believe you're how I'm able to make it through every single day. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow for another beautiful and amazing live stream. And thank you for kicking it with the lifer. God bless you all. I'll see you on the next one. And remember, the secret to success, I've studied so many people and asked that question over and over again until I found the answer. The secret to success is getting started.